All right, so behind the scenes here, how are we going to make all these tutorials real quickly and documentation? Who even needs to do that? So, I fire up a copy of HAXcms locally. I pick a task in my head that we're going to go through here. In this case, we're going to import. I'm going to show you the way that we're going to import a new site. Then what I'll do is we'll take a Word doc and we'll use an example import. Right, and I will actually make one. This is like a behind the scenes. So then I Word doc, and then I would take you to said site. Okay, but during that process, when I go to the site, I would also go and hit recorder, and then I would make one, and I'd say DOCX import site. All right, and so what we'll do is I'll hit record. It's going to be in the other tab here for a second, and I'll do a little video like we would. All right, so let's go back here. So today I'm going to show you how to import a DOCX file and turn it into a website with HAX. So we're going to go to the bottom. We're going to select from existing sources because we already have material for this site. It's going to come from import example, which is something I will supply to you in the site for the tutorial so you can try it out yourself. It didn't seem like anything just happened, but it just realized that it could import this site. My new import. Okay, so we'll create a new site, and let's stay here. In this case, we watch that confetti rain down. So much fun. And then we'll go to my new site. Right, and here we have it. We have our site that was imported from a docx file. You can see that the content has come along. There's some reading and video and bullet points, basically just to illustrate that it does actually create a site for you. The whole time that's been happening, though, it's recording my steps in the background. So I can end recording. Now I have every step along the way of what I was doing using the record tab. So then I'm going to export that recording as JSON, and docx import site was the name that I gave it before. This is going in a big Learn Hacks folder just so I know where to find it easily. So then I can close that away, right? I've done this piece of it. Then what I would do next is I'm going to go to Screencastify, which I can't access right now because I'm recording, and it would give me a docx version of everything that I'm saying. So I've done this previously, so I'm not going to do it for this one. Then with that, we've created a skill. We, me and the agents. So what I would do is I would say HAX tutorial site as the skill that's being leveraged. I would reference the YouTube video in question that has been made via Screencastify. And then I would attach some files as context. So in this case, we are going to attach the HAXcms dashboard because that's what this was from for that video. And Screencastify has an awesome AI summarization feature where it can turn what you've made into a series of steps. So it's like a study guide, basically. So I make those two things. Right, I generate the video, put the video on YouTube using Screencastify, which just click a button. And then once I have all those pieces, it is stitching it together. So let me find my previous one where we did this. Might have been this one. Is the output? No, it wasn't that one. I keep iterating on it so that I can make sure that it's that much better. But I don't see the actual execution run. But instead, go to the AI site tutorials, right? So when I ran that skill, passing it the YouTube link and the DOCX file, the Puppeteer run is contextual. Like if it's there, then it'll accept it. The reason being, I'm sure I'm going to forget. Also, it's just sort of I think it'll be very useful to have this information. I don't actually know that it's useful on its own, but so then running that skill, it generated this Learn HAX HAXcms dashboard site. So this was from the previous video I did. And by generated, I mean literally everything. It set the theme. In this case, is our resume theme that's coming out in the next release. It imported the DOCX file, which had all these headings, bullet points. It wrote the images to the site. And so I can actually go and pull those back out, right? So those images are in there, the VTT file's in there, the DOCX file, the JSON blob, they're all in there. It actually took the YouTube video, transcribed it, and then that way, as I have a local VTT, I can use our interactive transcript search with the video. It took the title of the video from YouTube that I put up there, and then it put that in. As I said, it took these screenshots from Screencastify, imported them, wrote the bullet points. Then at the end, it did this. And so this is where I'm thinking the long-term sustainability of this is going to be really key. So it links off to YouTube, opening in a new window, right? So you can get to that resource if you only want that. It has the transcript, right? So I can just jump to that. It has links off to all the screenshots, which the screenshots are in the page rendered as media image tags, so that I can pop them up to see the full display. It's got the original DOCX source content, and it's got the automation script that was used to record this, as well as the date that I put it here, hard-coded, because I don't want it to be based on when the page gets updated. It's when this was recorded. And the version of HAXcms at the time that this tutorial was produced. Now, why I'm doing this is I'm having it make these little sites and then it's publishing them to Surge. So this is out on Surge right now. There it is. It's the Learn HAXcms dashboard. You don't see the theme at the moment because that theme is in our next release, which this site is being powered by the CDN. So this is freely published out on Surge, which is a static host. It's got all the text content of this. It's got our video with our interactive transcript. So I can jump to the points of me talking about the thing, which is getting really meta as I'm talking about how I made the thing. So then lastly, it drafts how I would communicate about this on LinkedIn, on X/Mastodon, and it generates the descriptive copy that I should be putting back into the YouTube video so that we get that reverse lookup capability. Now, the master plan associated with this is, as we are opening the folder over here, as we build out this single site tutorial base, right? We effectively have one-page sites using HAX as a pass-through. HAX just gets stood up so that it can rip this site. So it's going to rip this site. It has all the assets. It has the content all in a format that once I get enough of these, I can then analyze the tutorials in order to generate a taxonomy, tag all of the things so they're categorized correctly, and then I can have it build a tutorial site. So we are going to create all the little individual tutorials, the foundational stuff, and then leverage the engine we've built in order to build the documentation site and tutorial site about this, right? So that tutorial site, when I get through 20 plus of these little 2-3 minute videos, is going to be filled out with a ton of metadata that I can then use to properly quantify what these are. And my process is what you're witnessing right now. It's just me going, hitting record, and talking to the screen and recording what's happening after I start a server.